Hello, welcome back to Chapter 8, Section 3, Adding, Subtracting Rational Expressions. We're going to be adding rational expressions. Unlike the first video, this time we're going to have to find the least common denominator. So I'm going to do, I think, 2 examples in this, and then of course we'll do the guided practice problems in the videos coming up. So I've got x plus 1 over x squared plus 3x plus 2. I'm going to add x over x plus 1. That's not the same as that. I need to make them the same. Now, an easy way to do it would be to multiply this by that, and I would get my least common denominator. But that's probably going to make it to where it's going to be kind of more difficult. So let's see if I can use a smaller common denominator for this. I like writing my addition problems vertically. And I'm going to save some space here because I'm going to factor that. So all right, x plus 1. And I'm going to put parentheses around that because that way it looks like what I have here. So what 2 numbers multiply to give 2 that add to give 3? That's going to be x plus 1 times x plus 2. All right, so let's just look at the denominators for a second. They both have a common factor of x plus 1. That is correct. But this x plus 2 is not down here. So what do? I'm going to multiply by the number 1. It's just not going to look like the number 1. It's going to look like x plus 2 divided by x plus 2. This is just 1. That's all that it is. That's just the number 1. Now, both of the denominators are the same. X plus 1 times x plus 2, x plus 1 times x plus 2. And I already know what that's going to multiply by because it's right there. So let's simplify it a little bit. This one, I don't do anything with in this problem. Sometimes I have to do something to both of them. So this is going to be x subtract 1 over x squared plus 3x plus 2. I just remultiplied it, and I didn't even have to think about it. It's right there. And then this becomes x times x, which is x squared, x times 2, which is 2x, and over the same denominator. And now I'm going to add, and this is where it gets a little awkward, but when I put them together, I'm just going to do this. I'm going to draw like an arrow here. I get still x squared plus 3x plus 2. That denominator stays the same, but now I'm going to add x subtract 1 to x squared plus 2x. And the only thing is I'm just going to do it, I'm going to write them in order. So I look for the biggest exponent. That's x squared. Then I've got x plus 2x, which is 3x. And of course, negative 1. Now I should probably check to see if I can reduce this. How do we reduce it? Simplify it? Well, we factor the top and the bottom. I already have the factors here, x plus 1, x plus 2. And I see if anything is going to simplify. Well, I can't factor the top. What 2 numbers multiply to give negative 1 that add to give 3, that's not going to factor. So this is already going to be simplified. Which values is it undefined? If I use negative 1 or negative 2. So x cannot equal negative 1, and x cannot equal negative 2. All right, so keep that in mind. Pause it, rewind it if you need to. I'm going to do another one here real quick. So I'm going to write x divided by x plus 3. I'll put that in parentheses, which is okay. And I'm going to add negative 18. And I'm going to factor this. This is x plus 3 times x subtract 3. So notice that they both have a common factor of x plus 3. This fraction has x minus 3, but this one doesn't. So I'm going to multiply by the number 1. So again, this is just the number 1. Let's do a little bit of simplifying. This one is going to stay the same, negative 18 over x squared subtract 9. I know that I still have x squared subtract 9. That way I have the common denominator. These are the same. X times x is x squared. X times negative 3 is negative 3x. And then I'm going to add them. I still have my common denominator, x squared subtract 9. I have x squared, subtract 3x, subtract 18. X squared, subtract 3x, subtract 18. Now, I have, oh, and I should say this too. I've got x plus 3 and x minus 3. That means x cannot equal negative 3 and x cannot equal positive 3. That's going to make this undefined. I know what the factors for the denominator are. X plus 3 times x minus 3. Got that. Can I factor this one? What two numbers multiply to give negative 18 that add to give negative 3? I think that that's going to be x subtract 6 times x plus 3. And if I do my denominator, x subtract 3 times x plus 3, these two factors are going to reduce. So my final result is x subtract 6 divided by x subtract 3. So sometimes we have to double check if we can reduce it at the end. Okay, that's a lot. We'll do practice problems, and in the next one we'll do a little bit with subtraction, but we'll see kind of the same thing. It's just with a little extra step. Okay.